just waiting for the thing. Okay, I've got to do a voice for this bit. Order in the courtroom. All rise for Judge Daddy Tom.
Be seated. This has been a long, grueling trial, but we have finally come to time to hear the jury's verdict. Daddy Rob, one last time, how do you plead?
Well, innocent, obviously. I mean, this all seems a little bit...
Silence! Daddy Dan, have you and the just come to an agreement?
Yes, Your Honour.
And the verdict?
For the crimes against music, we find the defendant guilty.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Silence! Daddy Rob, you have been trialled by a jury of your peers and been found guilty for crimes against music. You have been sentenced to 25 years in the maximum security prison. Take him away! And what we'll do, I can start kind of the porridge theme music there.
Yeah, that's what I said. That genuinely, that's what I was going for.
Yeah, that's not a problem. I can sort that one out.
It's meant to be jury that I did a spelling mistake in there, autocorrected to just, but it works fine anyway.
Yeah, I don't think anyone will notice out of our 9 listeners.
We've got 9 now.
To be fair, the episodes have slowly been going up.
They will. I say Gemma next door listens to it. She thinks it's hilarious.
You just need that 1 or 2 where episodes that just catch.
But the thing is we need people like Gemma next door to then jump onto Facebook and just say, look, I've just listened to it. Do you mind giving it a listen?
And the other thing we
need reviews on iTunes and Google Podcasts, because reviews put us up the list and then more people find you. So fake reviews from YouTube would work. Yeah, I can't do it because the iTunes one is under my iTunes account.
Yeah.
So if I put a review, it just never gets shown.
When you updated it with the song at the end, it doesn't push to my app. Even if I delete it and re-download it, it never pushes back to me.
That might be the app, because it does on mine and it does on the app and on the podcast. It's probably a cache thing. If you go into, I don't know how, are you an Android user?
Yes.
So I don't know how Android works. Yeah. You kill the cache on the app on iOS and then it works.
Okay.
But yeah, that's one thing I like about that whole Anchor thing. So if we ever got, for example, an advertiser, you could actually go back across all our episodes and add their advert in at any point. So actually you could say, okay, well, we'll put your advert on all our episodes.
Yeah. Or
we could choose random ones to put it on.
Yeah, for 1 month you can be on all our episodes.
Yeah, basically. Right. Okay, well, I'm going to hand back over to you then, Dan.
Okay. At the end, though, before we start, do you want to do all the you can reach us on this, you can reach us on this, because I ain't got my head around that yet and I'm going to have to think about it too much.
Yeah, no worries, mate. I can do that. That's absolutely fine. What was I just going to... I can't fucking remember. It doesn't matter. We'll get there, I'm sure.
Right, okay. Ready? Moment of silence for the fallen. Welcome to 3 Dads, 1 Podcast, where we all know why boobs are like toys. Because they're specifically made for kids, but daddies end up playing with them anyway. With me, I've got Daddy Tom.
Hello, everybody. And with me, we also have Daddy Rob.
Hi, I'm Daddy Rob, recently released from prison for crimes against music. Can't guarantee I won't reoffend.
Well, let's hope you do, because that's probably one of the best things we've done so far, but alongside being one of the worst. So today's episode, I wanted to talk about children's toys. One, because we're a group of something aged men who probably have very similar tastes in toys when we were young, but we also have children that play with toys now, and we have to deal with exactly that. We have to deal with the new toys and what happens. So one of the first things I wanted to ask you boys is, what were your favourite toys when you were little that you remember playing with?
Oh, do you want to go first, Rob?
Good question. You just showed one. I played a lot with the Ghostbusters toys, I remember. And I think Venkman's head got lost in the front gardens many times. We never found it again. I remember I had the actual building. I think I mentioned it to you in a message. All the slime, used to be able to put the slime, it'd go down through the floors.
The firehouse.
Yeah, I liked Boglins. I had a Boglin. I liked playing with that. Kind of, we found it in the loft the other day, actually, a werebear. Do you remember those?
Yeah.
I remember werebears.
Yeah, my boy loves that werebear. He prefers it with the claws and the fangs out to having them put away, which is quite cute.
Definitely your child.
I think a lot of kids prefer things like that actually when they've got the claws out more than anything. I think that was kind of the whole joy of the toy.
And a lot of Lego. I really liked Lego.
Okay. So, Tom, what about you?
Well, when you finally said that, I was kind of laid back in the bar thinking, well, what bloody toys do I remember? And the most popular one that I remember, and I think I played with for many, many years, was Tomy Train. But the thing is whenever I say that to people don't know what that is. And it's really annoying because everyone knows what Brio is, the old wooden train set. Basically, Tomy Train was made by Tomy, funnily enough, and it was a battery-operated plastic version of Brio, basically. And it was awesome. So I remember it must have been maybe 5 or 6 years old. I got this big box for Christmas, and it was Tomy Train set number 2. And you just made the track, and you could make it into whatever shape you want. It had bridges, you had a little battery-powered train, you had carriages. And then throughout the years, I just got bought more and more of it. And you can make this huge track with the stuff that's in the loft at the moment. And I had loads of trains, and there was like train washes and log systems in it to drop logs into carriages and stuff like that. It was absolutely awesome. And then, the only other ones that really sprung to mind were like you, Rob, with the Ghostbusters stuff. And it's funny what you said there, calling it slime, because, we have slime now. But what we had with the Ghostbusters, it was ectoplasm, wasn't it? Yeah. So it was a tub of ectoplasm, and it had a ghost figure inside it, if I remember rightly.
There was 4 varieties, remember, different colours, but I think I only ever had purple. It was always purple slime.
I had the bright pink one, and it was always with the rule is if this goes on the carpet even once, it's going in the bin.
I think he's met my mum too.
The thing is, I think the same rules apply now. So for me, my main toys are the Ghostbusters, like you boys have just said. And the Ghostbusters with the slime. So slime was a thing when we were kids.
Yeah.
And the toys, the ironic thing about the Ghostbusters is they almost didn't get made as toys. But most people from our generation remember them because they were our favourite toys. And the reason they almost didn't get made at the time is because Ghostbusters was this film with a few comedians from Saturday Night Live that had such a small budget that they expected just to sort of go around. And it did so well that a few years later they had to get these toys out because they did the the cartoon series, the real Ghostbusters.
Which I've probably got fonder memories of. I love the films, don't get me wrong. Ghostbusters 1 and Ghostbusters 2 I absolutely love. And I know number 2 is slated as much worse than the first film and nowhere near the quality. I love them both. But
so do I. I see it as one film, one story.
Yeah, but when it comes to the real Ghostbusters, I loved it. And have you gone back and watched that recently? Because it was on Netflix, all the episodes.
Let me just stop you there because they've just started releasing them 1 episode a week on YouTube on the Ghostbusters channel. So they've got 2 episodes now every week. So they're doing Saturday morning cartoons, and every Wednesday they're releasing an episode of the Extreme Ghostbusters.
I remember watching it a lot, but there's one particular bit, I don't know if it was in the intro or something, where it's like a brass band playing in the middle of a park. I just remember that really vividly. Was that in the intro or was that an episode?
I remember what you're talking about.
It's probably a clip from an episode as well. But yeah. But I think most people would agree. When you go back and watch it now, you don't realise how terrifying actually the creature design and the ghost designs in that was. No, and there's certain episodes I always remember as well. There was the factory one where they go to the factory and the whole factory's come alive. And there's just the giant machine at the end, the power plant, that's it.
The Ghost Train was one I always remember.
Yes, I remember that one as well.
So we've got these Ghostbuster toys you all remembered, which were toys that are manufactured from a film which was so popular, unexpectedly they created a cartoon out of it, which then they had no merchandising rights for. They hadn't planned it because they didn't think it'd do very well and they just had T-shirts. The second that I remember, and one of my favourites, is Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, because we were not allowed ninjas in Europe. I don't know if you knew that either.
Yes.
And this was another toy that
censorship at its best.
And Michelangelo, you probably remember differently, but a fact is Michelangelo never had nunchucks in the UK. He had a grappling hook in all the cartoons.
What a waste. Absolute waste. But I never got into Turtles, funny enough. I enjoyed the cartoon, but a lot of my mates all loved the films. And I just didn't float my boat. Don't know why.
I love the Turtles. I still do now. I actually collect the comics still. It's just one of those things. But again, that's another line of toys that was really popular for our age group that almost didn't get made because nobody would pick up the license. And in fact, Playmates picked it up in the end, who before that time had never made a boys action figure. They only made dolls for girls. And they're the only toy companies to pick it up. And then that company took off because they made all this money. So when we were kids, one property come first. I mean, it is very different. So we had the Ghostbusters, which was a film, cartoon to toys. You had the Turtles, which was a comic, then the cartoon, then the toys. Very difficult to get made. And become some of the biggest properties in the world today. And even now, because of nostalgia from our age group, people go back and buy them, more adult collectors. The other thing I loved was Micro Machines.
Oh, you've got to love a bit of Micro Machines. But have you seen the recent Micro Machines?
Exactly why I'm going to bring it up now. This is one of the things I wanted to do this video. Right.
They're
so
not micro.
No, well, not only that. So if I explained to you what I think the new Micro Machines look like, I'm not going to spend my money on them. I heard they were coming back. I got excited. I thought, get them for the kids. And now, do you know if you go on Wish?
Yeah, okay.
And you went, I'm going to buy these
We're
Micro
at a level
Machines.
already. Okay, I get it, yeah.
Right. And then you get them and you're like, oh, mate, they look a bit like Micro Machines, but they're actually a bit shit. This is what the new Micro Machines look like. So a new company's got them and they've started making something that's nothing like Micro Machines.
I think it's Hasbro, isn't it?
Yeah, it was
Off the top of my... Galoo made them originally, didn't they?
Yeah.
Then Matchbox started doing them.
Yeah, because they got all the Star Wars licenses. I remember I had all of those.
Then I think the current ones are paid by Hasbro. And they're just not micro. You can't call them micro if they're not small. And
not only that, they don't look... There's no sense of realism about them. Whereas, although they would have never looked real, they always had the sort of realistic properties. And now they're garish, big, brightly coloured. So, this is why I wanted to do this episode. Because toys for kids nowadays are split. You've got the toys that were around when we were... The Ghostbusters have come back as retro figures for adults to buy exactly the same as we used to buy them, which I shared with both of you guys.
I
which
may
are
have
very
ordered
tempting.
them. And the Kenner Ghostbuster gun.
Oh yeah, the guns, the dress up. So, but nowadays, it's very strange. So now, when we were kids, there was 2 lots of slime. That's the reason I brought up Turtles as well. We used to get the slime with the Turtles for the sewer. So you used to pour that in the top of the sewer. It was the ooze. And then you had the ectoplasm with the Ghostbusters. That's the first thing I knew about slime, apart from Nickelodeon, where...
Nickelodeon Gak, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Gak. So we had that. Now, everything is slime.
Yeah, pretty much.
Whereas we might have had toys based on more adult properties back in the days, but they're more cartoony. Nowadays, it's just a lot of it's crap. And the technology nowadays has evolved so much. But like the Micro Machines, they've got this... They could have recreated the Micro Machines we used to have, but they bought tat. And there's a lot of toys now I won't buy my kids because when did poo and shit become such a good topic to have with a toy?
I'm sure I saw one in Sainsbury's yesterday. I'm sure I saw next to what's that? There's a weird little looking panda thing in a dungarees. What's that thing called?
Right.
Oh, right. So that might be one of Ryan's. That I was going to bring Ryan into
it was his own program, this thing. But next to that was this thing about the same height as it, and it looked like a giant shit.
Yeah, well, but this is it. You're right, Dan. For the past, and I would say it's probably about 10 years, there are now unlimited options on getting your child some sort of game based on fecal matter. So I don't know. Did you both used to watch South Park?
Yeah.
Yes. Mr. Hanky.
So, first Mr. Hanky episode. Halfway through, there was the Mr. Hanky advert where they have the Mr. Hanky toy and they've got the kids and they've obviously got... And then you even get a fishing net to get Mr. Hanky.
Toy.
Yeah. Not like in the advert.
No, I think I had the cuddly toy.
The thing is now there is a game to fish turds out of the toilet.
Yes,
Oh,
and the
lovely.
one that you plunge the toilet. Or what about the one where you put a blindfold on and walk across the carpet in a minefield full of squishy poo? Don't step in the poo.
Or pick up the dog shit.
Yes, there's a pick up the dog shit. Or my personal favourite.
Don't do it in real life, but if it's a toy, you will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Poopsicorns, which is a unicorn that shits glittery slime.
Oh, it's like those little jelly bean toys. The reindeers poop out jelly beans. Yeah.
No, this actually
No,
shits
no, no.
slime. It's like they've eaten
Yeah, I
something
remember
that
the jelly bean
disagreed with them.
ones.
The jelly bean ones, yeah. I mean, but that's a little bit different. So nowadays, I'd say you walk around a toy shop, on at least every shelf, you see a toy or game based around a toy or you shitting or avoiding shit.
Well, one of the toys of Christmas the year just gone was the shitting flamingo. It sits on a toilet, you feed it, and then it dances and it dumps.
Yeah, it's true. Oh, what the shitting flamingo? I remember that. Can I have one? No. It comes with
It
a toilet,
sounds like
Rob,
a terrible
plastic
sex
toilet.
act, to be honest.
Is the idea to kind of make pooing fun for children so they're not terrified of the big scary thing?
No,
This
I
isn't?
think it's a complete difference in what we're watching on TV now. And this is one of the other episodes we were going to talk about with kind of cartoons.
Ren and
versus
Stimpy did not
old
send
and-
me loopy.
Yeah, but Ren
That's
and
what you
Stimpy
think.
isn't something you would show,
Ren and
let's say, your 6 or
Stimpy.
7 year old. Yeah.
Theo's first film was Rock and Roller, so
No, but
Ren and Stimpy is
on a-
coming back,
good.
but they'll probably ruin it like they have done everything else that comes.
more than likely. But on a semi-serious note, like Beavers on Butthead, there was a specific age group that
Coming
you'd
back.
expect
Yeah.
that for. Yeah,
did
the
like
last new series they did, which again I think was about 6 or 7 years ago, was really good. So Mike Judge has still got it. So I hope he still does it really well now. But
As long
I'm
as he's
more
got full
talking
creative
about-
control.
yeah, I'm more talking about the standard cartoons like CBBC, Nickelodeon that the kids are watching now during normal daytime. So many of them are fecal matter or just gross compared to what we used to have, like the raccoons. I doubt
Yes.
there's anything like the raccoons at the moment for kids anymore.
The only thing that I've really liked recently in terms of a TV show was a TV show called Bluey. It was on Disney Junior, which is now Disney Plus because you can't get it on. And that was an Australian one about a family of dogs, and everyone's a dog. And that was all right. It was quite fun to watch.
Oh, okay.
But
I'll
you
have
can't-
to look that one up.
It's good. I enjoyed watching it. But you watch, it's about 60 episodes available in the UK, and you see them all and you've watched them all. But it was enjoyable. But you can't get the toys over here, which is a problem. Now, again,
And of
we go
course-
back to our days. I'm going to give you some examples here, okay, of some of the greatest cartoons that we had based on what was watched. You might not think so. So, Transformers, yeah.
Absolutely.
What's that?
Wasn't Transformers only made because they wanted to sell toys?
Other way round. This is the whole point
Really?
of my thing. He-Man, Thundercats,
All
Masks,
legendary
you might not
shows.
watch it. Teddy Ruxpin, My
Yeah, I
Little
remember.
Pony,
Care Bears.
all were toys first, then became cartoons.
What about Biker Mice from Mars? Because those toys were awesome.
Biker Mike Mars was a
Biker
rip-off
Mike
of Teenage
Mars.
Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Biker Mike and Mark.
Biker Mike Mars. Biker
and
Mice.
Mark,
Yeah.
two friends going on a road trip.
That's worse than Bensley's Moosey Meeks, isn't it?
Mickey Mice.
Yeah.
M-O-U-K. What?
The Biker Mice from Mars was a rip-off of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, trying to jump on the bandwagon of the success of that, as was Street Sharks, and so was Battletoads.
Biker Mice from Mars, just quickly. Battletoads is amazing. But Biker Mice from Mars is up there with X-Men for the best intro music.
Yes.
I know this is nothing related to
Absolutely.
toys now.
No, it's not related to toys. We're just going off onto a nostalgia trip, which we could probably do on a whole other episode, to be fair.
Oh, I got the X-Men theme song as well. Oh, such a classic.
I
But,
can't. That's all I can hear in my head.
I'm not
now.
allowed to hum it.
No.
But there's just going on about that then, Dan, because again, you don't get this now, but we did when we were younger. Okay, so
Yeah.
your kids. Okay, well, we'll talk about the toys that kids now have in a minute, but you do not see children going into shops and going, "Oh, Mum, let's buy us a toy. Let's buy us a little Timmy. He's only 8 years old. Oh, go and buy him a toy. Let's have a look at the action figures." Oh, look, there's a bit of a G.I. Joe. Yeah, that's okay for him. Oh, let's get him the Terminator figure or RoboCop. He's obviously going to know what's going on with that. Oh, no, Alien, even better. Let's get him a face hugger. You don't get that anymore, do you? They were aimed at children, but they would never have seen those films.
Well, this is the whole point of what happened when we were kids. They had a successful film or comic book series as Turtles, and then they would think, this will make good kids, create a cartoon based on that and create the toys on the cartoon, and that makes sense. But you're right, nowadays you can walk in, you can buy anything. Now, the other thing that I find today is, it's good, I don't mind it, but it's a waste of money, is when we were kids, talked about when you were buying something as a toy or something you played with, how many times did you go into a toy shop and buy something but not know what you were buying? It didn't happen.
Only stickers.
Football stickers, exactly.
And Boglins, blind bags. Pogs as well.
That was a lot later on. Pogs, yeah, that sort of thing. But you always knew.
Well, those little, they're like this big. TJ's going to know. I'm going to explain. They were kind of little faces and monsters and things. They were tiny little things.
So Monster in My Pocket you had.
Yes, yeah. Monster in My Pockets.
But you also had mini Boglins.
Yeah, mini Boglins. Yeah,
which you had to. And this one came all the way from Italy in an unopened bag. I paid about £4 for, just so I could have the joy of opening one again.
But when we were kids, this was a thing, but it wasn't a thing, was it? It was, you mentioned Pogs. The thing is, you'd go to Pogs and you might get 20 Pogs in a pack. So it wasn't like you was buying one thing, and if you already had that thing, you were screwed because you couldn't do it. Nowadays, everything is a mystery box.
Yeah, it's LOL surprise, isn't it? That's the big one, and I bet you've had struggle with that one at the moment, haven't you?
What else is there? Ryan, it's gone full circle.
Hate that kid.
There's a kid who is famous originally on YouTube for playing and opening toys to play with, who now has children making videos about his toys that he's created that are mystery boxes that they open on YouTube.
Love it.
It's
full circle.
And let's face it wasn't even Ryan. Have you ever had to watch any of those videos?
Yes, his parents completely dictate it.
It's his massively pushy mother. Even the dad's just like, I'm sorry, kid, I can't do anything. Look at her. You try and control that.
I think we mentioned it in episode 1. Alyssa, Dan's eldest, would say to me sometimes, oh, have you seen blah, blah, blah? And I'm like, what's that? He goes, it's in Ryland's latest video. I'm like, what? Of course I haven't watched it. Do you think I go home and watch Ryan's toy reviews when you're not around?
Well, when we were younger, we were quite a bit older when something like YouTube come out. And I think the first video I ever watched was Badger Mushroom.
And that wasn't even on YouTube. That would have been on E-Bounds World.
It would have been E-Bounds World, and they weren't even videos. They were just sort of
Happy Tree Friends.
Oh yeah.
The favourite one I had from E-Bound was a piss take of He-Man and him singing What's Up by 4 Non-Blondes, and it's still one of the best viral videos that was ever done.
What was Strong Bad part of?
Oh, Strong Bad was Strong Bad. It was his...
No, he was part of a whole thing, wasn't he?
Excuse the typing sound. Hang on a moment. He was
Homestar
Runner.
Homestar Runner. Yeah, that was when I was at college. Yeah.
Strong Bad was one of my go-to for many, many years because it still is. It's just very, very funny. Sorry.
No, that's fine. I like this. The tangents we go off on it. It shows that we're actually creating something not scripted. To be fair,
very true.
I think the way that we do it proves that anyway. Because right, so mystery boxes are so much bigger now, but they're not cheap. Football stickers now are 70p a pack for 5 stickers. They reduce the number of stickers you get, but increase the price of the pack massively.
Do you still guarantee shiny?
No.
Because I'm sure it was like, was it 8 or 9 or something? You always got shiny. You always got 1.
I don't think it was quite 8 or 9. It might have been 8.
I remember getting 6 stickers, but that was all. I never did football stickers though. I only ever did the Beano and the Dandy Pony sticker books.
I'm just sure that there was always a rare or a shiny.
You always seem to get a shiny one, but there was always a lot of shinies that are more common, and shiny was worth 2 normals, or a rare shiny was worth...
He's rummaging around another one of his boxes.
There is something that was incredibly exciting, which actually you both highly reminded me of, and this will make you both incredibly jealous. So you keep talking. I'll be back in a moment while I go through my drawers.
So one of the things now about the toys as well is all these mystery things. So it's very much more difficult to complete a collection, and it's not just things like Pogs, whereas hundreds. There's sometimes a limited run of
there's a sticker
completed.
Have you completed? Completed, mate.
All of the shiny stickers that you really can't see very well on the camera.
No.
But I had this when I was small, and I remember only half completing or 3/4 completing it. And then about a year ago, the missus was over at her mum's because she'd been told she had to go over there and help sort out their loft. And she said, I found my brother's copy of the real Ghostbusters sticker album completed. Do you want it or shall I bin it?
Stupid question.
You don't ask things like that. But yeah, that is a pride and joy, that thing, seeing the foil stickers and their shininess again. It's just, it's so good.
I can't.
But yeah, my stickers, anyway, I only remember getting 6 in a pack.
But it's still more than now.
Football. Yeah.
And the prices. So now you've got, what we into Hatchimals.
Oh, don't. Waste of time and money.
Shopkins, LOLs or LOLs, whatever they're called. Everything has a mystery bag component. Now they even do Barbies in mysteries. So they've got the colour ones. So they come in a tube. You don't know what's in there. You open it. It's a naked doll covered in some coloured crap that you fill it full of water, shake it off, and it becomes a Barbie.
A full height Barbie.
Yep. You don't know what you're going to get. There's one of like 8 in a collection.
Like 40 quid's worth of Barbie.
20.
What you've just described, Dan, is hobo Barbie. Get delivered a Barbie, give it a wash, and you see which Barbie's under the dirt.
Pretty much. It's just this colourful, dirty Barbie.
Street corner Barbie.
But they've got these. So you're not talking about a couple of quid a box to find out what mystery toy you've got. You've also got these full-size Barbies of 20 quid a pop. It's like, I've got that one. And I said, can I have another? No, you can't have another bloody one. It's 20 quid. That's That's
a main Christmas present sort of money.
Yeah, for a mystery box. They also do Barbie mystery boxes for pets now. So it's like, Barbie's pets. But you got to buy a bag to get all the pets. And there's making money and there's extortion. And now the adverts are so much worse as well. The adverts all the time. I'm sure there was adverts when we were kids, but they weren't as good now as they are now.
But the thing is as well, when we were kids, there was one way most kids did their Christmas shopping. Argos. And that is, here's the Argos catalogue, and you just poured your way through it for like 2 months. And I've got really, really, really strong memories of one Christmas. I couldn't tell you which Christmas it is. Sat at my dinner table at home with the Argos catalogue. In the background on the TV was an old Adam West Batman episode being rerun on Channel 4. And I'm just going through it. Would have been October. I am huge into Christmas. I love Christmas. And the sooner I can get into Christmas, the better. So I would have been definitely getting into that well early. And yeah, it's just that going through the Argos catalogue, seeing all the pictures. And it was, like you say as well, I don't think there were as many adverts on terrestrial TV anyway. I don't know about Sky because we never had it, or cable. But on normal TV, except for Saturday mornings on maybe CITV, there weren't as many adverts as there are now.
And the thing is, that's the whole point. You used to go through the Argos catalogue, or I think there wasn't many more than that, was there? Maybe Toys R Us did a catalogue towards Christmas, but then you'd go, right, here's the toys, for example, the Ghostbusters, and you've got all 4 Ghostbusters, they've got these 2 ghosts, they've got the car, they've got the firehouse.
But also shows you a difference in an era for us versus what children we have now. When we used to go through the Argos catalogue, you wouldn't just go straight to the toy section, you would flick all the way through, and there would be times where you go, oh look, they're selling real Ghostbuster bed linen. That's amazing. Yeah. And you'd ask for it. Kids now, they see toy adverts and they ask for toys. Very rarely do I find a kid that asks for something that isn't a toy.
Yeah, there's that.
And the Argos catalogue was a big, big player in that, really. And as you got older, everyone wanted a Casio data bank, which again, you had that lovely pages of these things that, wow, I can have an organizer, a calendar, and remember people's phone numbers that I'll never ring.
Payphones to call your parents rather than mobiles.
Yeah.
But when we were younger, we knew what toys we wanted because there was a finite amount of toys that you could send a parent into, or you could walk into a toy shop and I need Ray or I need Donatello, and you could pick him up and know that's what you've got. Half of that's gone now.
And you're right again, Dan, with the fact that most of these cartoons were based on the fact that they just wanted to sell toys. Therefore, they were the toys you could ask for because they were what were being sold, excluding a few niche things like Subutio. Huge throughout all of our childhoods, really. And it's probably only kind of disappeared now. And they had that kind of knockoff Subutio, didn't they, by another company that you pushed the person down to kick the ball. It was a magnetic ball. And that didn't do anywhere near as well, obviously. But, during our era, the cartoons were the toys we wanted. The kids now, again, the number of shows that Casey watches, I wouldn't say there's many toys for those at all, actually.
No.
But it's the adverts.
Yes, but now you've got the same thing that's happened to us, whereas we used to have toys that become cartoons, and I went through some of them, and the classics. Transformers, we've got a multi-billion-dollar film franchise from that. Now, I watched the other day on Netflix the Shopkins cartoon. And it's just...
Aren't Shopkins just talking like food with faces? And anthropomorphized like French fries and stuff.
Yeah.
But to an extent, we did have that. But I've not seen the cartoon, so I can't comment. Only you can really do that at the moment, Dan. But we had Pound Puppies, and they got an entire cartoon based on the toy. But again, from what I remember, the cartoon was quite good.
The cartoon wasn't bad. The only other thing they've got over this time, I think I've mentioned this before as well, now you can watch an entire series from episode 1 to episode 20 in the right order, and we still have cartoons from our childhood that never got finished, such as Dungeons and Dragons.
And Jason the Wheeled Warriors.
Yeah, or X-Men. The X-Men cartoon never showed in the right order in this country. And in fact, if you go to Disney Plus and watch the X-Men cartoon, that is in the same order, in the wrong order on there than it was when it was first released, because you don't get that now. You just get the right order. And toys now, it might just be the generational thing, but when I can walk into a toy shop and the kids are getting into Barbies now, and I never had Barbies because I'm a boy, but now you walk in and there's Barbies of every creed, every colour, every disability. I'm assuming they always had a different job, but I'm pretty sure when we were kids, there were always more glamorous jobs. I'm pretty sure there was like an air hostess Barbie, and all this. Now it's like Barbie in a wheelchair who looks after paraplegic puppies and stuff like this. And it's just like
specific.
It's true.
It really is. It's just, but the cartoon isn't bad. That's another cartoon we have to watch. Barbie.
Sounds like a really sad cartoon.
But they're not
looking
all
after all those
puppies.
poorly puppies.
But this is a sort
Ken,
of toys.
we've got to put this one down. Oh, do we have to, Barbie? Yep, get me my Barbie killing kit.
Sorry.
Barbie euthanasia. But you do.
Sweeney Todd Barbie.
Everything has to be so politically correct now that there has to be a version of everything for everybody. Whereas I think when we were younger, everybody was happy to play with a decent toy. Now, I think the toy company is trying to release too much to try and appeal to everybody when, as far as I'm concerned, a good toy will appeal to everybody anyway.
Well, and again, so I don't know why I know so much about kind of 80s and 90s toy, mainly because I think I'm living in the 80s and 90s still. If you look at this little shelf over here, I mean, it's got Boglins, it's got Playmobil.
And a lot of Disney princesses.
That's my little girl's kind of office area over there with our desk that I bought for her. That was 1800, as in it comes from the 1800s. Her desk is amazing. So when we were small, you had Barbie, and that was only for either Christmas because it was so expensive, or you had Cindy. And that was the
Yeah.
lower price doll. And of course, that's all disappeared now. And I think Barbie's kind of, it's still expensive when you look at what it is, but I think it's kind of fallen down to a kind of a mid-range price, which is still probably too much for what it is. But it kind of killed off the whole Cindy low price side of things that we used to have as a generation. That is obviously not that we used to have dolls. We had action
Don't be
figures.
embarrassed, mate. It's fine.
No, you know what? I
think-
never had action figures when I grew up. Never. I didn't have a G.I. Joe. I didn't have an Action Man. I had Playmobil, which I absolutely adored. And again, same as the Tomy Train, I had Tomy Train. Just was never interested in having an action figure.
I don't think I had a Ken or anything like that. I mean, the closest I had was like I had Terminator figures, and then I had I remember Crash Dummies. I had a Crash Dummy.
Crash Dummies.
The Crash Test Dummies, yes.
Yeah, and I had still got it. The wooden castle with all the soldiers. I mean, I don't remember having anything nuts, like a assault rifle Ken or whatever the other Action Man things there are.
Yeah. I think you're getting confused between your brands there, mate.
But again,
War Hero Ken going back to War Widow Barbie.
Yeah.
Nowadays, that would probably happen.
I'm sure a fair few little sisters probably had war-wounded Ken when their brothers had ripped one of their legs off, and they said, well, what can we do? Just sew his little leg up and we'll leave it as it is. But it's a very Toy Story.
So even then, you talking about Playmobil. So Playmobil's big in this house as well, because I quite like it. I remember it. But when we were younger, even then, the Playmobil sets were a Playmobil set. You used to buy the set, and you had that set.
Yeah.
He's got a ghost.
It's got something of everything.
That is one of my most favourite bits. And for the people that are only listening, head over to YouTube where we've got this video, by the way. My little robot Playmobil, I got that one birthday. Mum had let's come back towards near the mic. My mum had set up a Pass the Parcel, and there were lots of little parcels, and then the middle present was that. And I was so pleased when I got that and opened it up, and I've kept it ever since. That's the original one. I think I must have been about 7 or 8, I think, when I got that. And it's just love. You're right. They made just really, really amazing sets. You could just get the little boxes, if you remember. They were like £2, and it was a person, but they had loads with them. Yeah,
that little person wasn't part of a bigger collection. It was normally quite constrained. So it's now Playmobil you can get from any store. They have, of course, sets. So let's go for the hospital, for example, because they do a Playmobil hospital. But the Playmobil hospital, you buy, I'm sure there's a little bit of this when we were kids, but you buy the hospital and you can buy the individual rooms, the contents. So you have like the operating room, for example, or the children's hospital room. And it's like a doll's house now. Yeah, exactly. But then you go, is your hospital not big enough? Because you can buy an extra layer.
So I didn't know if you were being serious for a minute.
No, he's not being serious. There's no Playmobil.
The
Jimmy Savile,
little
Jimmy Savile character as well.
It comes in a blind bag, yeah.
Oh, so they do blind bags. They do Playmobil blind bags as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I got the golden shiny Savile.
I think we're going too far on the Savile now, mate.
Yeah, we'll draw a line under this under the paedophilia now.
So what are the girls playing with? Toys.
Well, so this is the thing about the Playmobil I was talking, just sort of go over it again. So you can buy this hospital, but then if you go direct to Playmobil, you can buy an extra level for that hospital, but you can only get that direct. But because you got extra level, you can buy all the rooms, you don't need to select. But then you can buy the extra big helipad, which gets the big helicopter and the ambulance that goes next to it. And then, of course, you get all the other doctors. Oh, we've released this set here with, they actually did one at the beginning of lockdown as well. Special doctors for NHS support.
Oh,
That's
come
cool.
on! But you know what?
Cool. It's cool.
But there's not many toys nowadays where you can buy a set and have it, and then so all of them when we were kids used to have Series 1, Series 2, Series 3, and you'd have Series 1 there'd be 4 action figures, maybe a vehicle, and that would be it. Nowadays it's just continuous.
No, I think Playmobil must be dying a death, which is a real shame because I guess it was a huge thing in my childhood having kind of Playmobil. I had the ambulance helicopter or the search and rescue helicopter, because it had a little winch you could winch up and down, and kind of set up little scenarios of people being injured, fly the helicopter in, had the fire and things like that. But again, we had toy shops as well, and I think with the lack of toy shops about, Playmobil has slowly started to disappear. Because if you remember Riders in St Albans, you used to walk into Riders, you would turn right, and then you'd come to that central section which had shelves down the middle of it, and on the left you had things like Britain's models. You had Lego just past it before it got to the proper model kits, but to the right you had board games, but an entire section of Playmobil as well. And you just don't get
Toy Master.
I think so.
It was
yeah.
towards the end. It was Toy Master. I don't know what it was at the beginning.
But
independent toy shops are a death.
You just don't have that anymore for Playmobil. And I think the thing that's kind of signalled that they're probably starting to drop now, they've moved to adult Playmobil. No, I don't mean porn before you bring that one up, Rob. There's no Playmobil porn set with cameras and fluffers and everything like that.
Porn
so you can get Back to the Future Playmobil,
Barbie,
where you can get the DeLorean.
Which is awesome.
And Ghostbuster Playmobil, where you can get Ecto 1, and you can get the Playmobil Ghostbusters headquarters,
which is awesome.
And you can get all the Ghostbusters, including Janine, and all the modern ones from the terrible film that they released recently, which we won't talk about because it was
that
shit.
Doesn't exist. That was from an alternative universe. That's all it was.
Precisely, but they're in there anyway because Playmobil's Playmobil. But it looks so good. It really, really looks good. But it does say to me that if they've gone to this point now that they're having to make movie tie-ins, they can't be doing as well as they used to be.
But are they just trying to tie into this whole nostalgia thing that everyone else is doing? Re-releasing the original Ghostbusters figures that I really want, but I don't see the point in buying them because I won't be allowed to put them anywhere because I've got a wife.
But that's why you need that's why I'm lucky to have my office. The only reason I got an office in this house was Jem said, if you have an office, your shit stays in there. And by shit, she means all my collectibles. And I'm happy with that. I'm really happy with that.
I mean, let's be
spread
fair.
out throughout the house.
If somebody was going to break into your office to rob anything, they might nick the TV or the computer.
They're not going to touch my shit.
No, because but it's true, isn't it?
Yeah, basically. They're going to look at this widescreen.
Most Ghostbusters figures are fine.
Oh dear, it's true. But okay, yeah, like Rob said though, we've been talking nearly 40 minutes about old stuff. Where are we going with this?
So, new toys, apart from the price, Rob, you tell me what you think about certain toys that my girls have got. I'm talking about Lover-Bella.
They're terrifying. It's like, imagine if Chucky was real. That's what Lover-Bella,
Lover-Bella, yeah.
Okay, I'm Googling this while you're talking about it.
Because I've not come across it. Does it piss that's as horrible. Well, and it's nappy.
That one doesn't piss.
It was bad enough when Alyssa was little. Every toy doll she had was Baby Robert. She'd call it Baby Robert. And I don't like something about toy dolls. They just freak me out a little bit. And yeah, that Lover-Bella one, I don't want to be in the same room as it.
I'm not surprised. I've just looked at pictures
it's really horrible.
That's horrible. They are terrifying.
Baby, I never had dolls because if I was very young. I can't remember it. But now dolls, why try and pretend you've got a real life baby? What's wrong with the dolls that look like dolls?
Yeah, you say that though. We are the generation, so we're talking kind of early 90s to mid 90s that developed, oh God, what was it? Baby Annabelle, and the one that pisses itself constantly.
Oh, they're still coming.
Baby Born, that was it as well.
Baby Born, yeah.
Baby Born, or whatever the advert was. And it's just like, they were introduced to, oh, but baby shat itself. Feel the real world of a mother.
Yeah, that photo.
Yeah, no, I just said it on the group, and it's horror. I'm sorry, even that has freaked me out. Those dolls,
soulless just monster,
and they want these. Yeah, that is. But we got a slightly brown one. Again, you get. I think there's 3 different shades, just to make sure that everybody's covered. We got the medium one. It's not been in very long. It's not quite rare, but for example, let's talk about let's talk about toys here, and let's talk about Christmas toys. Whoever invented Elf on the Shelf needs to fucking shoot him.
Oh, right. So we have an elf that visits, but we don't do Elf on the Shelf. We put
Never
one of those
start.
elf. We stick one of those elf doors on the wall, and then from the 1st of December through to the 24th of December, the elf leaves either a little note or we get hold of some of Casey's toys and they end up doing weird things on the landing or hanging from somewhere or get hidden. And that's all. She loves it. But she goes out, finds it, goes, oh, look at what the elf's done. And then at the end, there's some gold coins outside the door saying, thank you for letting me stay with you. Bang, sorted. The whole Elf and Self thing, though, has just gone way too far. Way too far. And
This is what's
shit.
happening. But this is all down to the age of YouTube and things like this, where somebody gets this idea that they think is a great idea, and it does seem like a really good idea at the time until you start doing it and you realise it's one of the worst things you've ever started.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I hate Elf on the Shelf, but there's so much more to hate at Christmas toys wise. Just things like, again, like the whole adverts we were talking about, and the fact that really toys suddenly become really cheap and plastic with really high price tags at Christmas.
Like the new micro machines, twice the price, and they look wish.
Yeah,
Sort of
absolutely.
Alibaba.com micro machines.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So actually, So Rob, this is a bit hard for you because obviously Theo's not asking for things for Christmas yet. But what toy did you get Theo for Christmas?
I don't think we got him any toys for Christmas.
You
We
wanker.
we got kind of learning things like puzzles and things you could like squares and circles, but not like a toy, more like
no, but those
kind
are
of
traditional learning
puzzles.
toys.
Yeah,
But that's it.
I mean, my parents got him a fantastic toy, which I've played with a few times.
Is that the ice cream?
The ice cream thing, yeah. You put these little cards in, and it tells you what ice cream you want, and then it's got like little RFID things in each of the different flavored scoops, and it knows what flavors you. It's actually really clever. I mean, to be fair, for Theo, when you say what toys does he play with, it's really what do I put in front of him to shove in his gob. That's the level that we're at, really, with toys.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say we've historically always brought quite noisy toys for people and instruments.
Yes.
And I think people have tried to get their own back, but we're not really bothered by it, except for one toy, right? So we've got this one, which he chucks around. He seems to like it. There's a cat here. It's a little bumblebee, and you flap its wings, it makes noise, press a button, and it plays 5 different songs. Fine, except for one of the songs I flipping hate. And I don't know what the song is, except I know it was an advert for a toy when I was growing up. And it's the Magna Doodle song. Do you know it? Magna Doodle, it's such fun. Oh my god.
So, yeah, it's the Yankee Doodle Dandy.
Oh my god, I hate that song. Hate it. It's the only toy out of all of them that does that one. And every time he hits it and it plays that, I'm hitting it again.
Nice.
That song I can't stop thinking about that stupid doodle toy.
So I think next year will be your year when you start really getting in annoying toys.
But he likes the noise. Well, I mean, anything that he can shove in his gob, fantastic. It's a win. And then anything that makes a noise. I mean,
yeah, fair play.
Just get whatever you want, really. At the moment, he's too little.
That's the nice thing about that age. So for mine, it's painful to even talk about because, you know, it's been such a shit year with COVID that we said to her, well, look, ask for what you want. And I'm sure because all the boys and girls across the world have been really, really good with COVID and everything like that, that Sandra will probably get it for you. And the thing she really, really wanted was a Myla the Magical Unicorn. Oh, there's pussy on the screen. Nice. And we looked it up. It's 30 quid. And it does all these things. Like you get a little colour wand and you choose the colour with it. And it's got a little colour sensor. And you tap it against its wings or its arse or its face and it changes the colours in those locations. And she goes, I hope Santa can get it for me. And we say, you know what? Fine, we'll get it for her. And she has played with it for all of about 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes if you're lucky. And it's not her fault. it's purely the advertising that sold it to her. And
Yeah.
she loves unicorns, so that was it really with that. Do you know what actually, I'll ask the question in a moment, but anyway, go on, over to you, Dan.
Yeah, that was advertised so heavily, and it's exactly the same. These toys come on and they push them so heavily on the adverts and make them seem great, and the price point is too much, and they're desperate for them, and they never get played with at all.
But what did your girls ask for?
Well, to be fair, Evie, middle kid, asked for Marshall's fire truck, ultimate fire truck from Paw Shop. That's awesome. She plays with that all the time. So they're like normal toys that we would have played with, little figures with a little vehicle.
Yeah,
they're fine. They're not cheap, but they get played with, and they're really quite hardy. She also asked for a saber-toothed tiger that gets cold, which is another one of these. You might have seen it on the advert, and it's one of these fur real pets.
Right.
It doesn't get paid with at all, but it scares the shit out of you because it's got these sensors. I don't know how sensitive they are. I walked in the lounge the other day, and this thing was face down on the floor. I just walked in to get something, the lights were off, and this thing started chattering its teeth because it was cold. I don't know how it even sensed I was there because it wasn't looking at me. But it never gets played with until you sort of go to put it somewhere, and of course it gets played with all the time because they're worried it's going to disappear, which it probably would.
Yes.
They had the colour change Barbies I've already talked about, where it's a tube full of naked, colourful Barbiness with mystery bags with it. And luckily they've got different ones. Hatchimals. Polly Pockets. Polly Pockets are back.
Yes, we've got the original Polly Pockets out of Jem's old loft, and we've been playing with those. They're so much bigger, though, again, aren't they? Polly Pocket is no longer Pocket.
They're not really.
Polly Pocket was the tiny thing,
little
right?
tiny girl that came in a
Max.
case.
Mighty Max.
Mighty
Max was the boys.
Yeah.
Mighty Max hasn't come back, but Polly Pocket has.
Oh, I thought Mighty Max had made a comeback.
Oh, if it has, I've not seen it, but then I've got girls.
Okay. Yeah,
sorry, I keep that my dog's got a cone in his head for the last 2 weeks. It's just causing havoc in his house. But he's whacked into everything. If you hear like random crashing and smashing, it's him trying to get around.
It's not Miranda emptying the dishwasher again, then.
No, we had a veto on any dishwashing going on while recording.
But
he's crashing around over there at the moment.
I think the weird thing is, and again, this goes back to when I was small as well. The best toys are sometimes the cheapest. I don't know if you both agree. Yeah. So for me, growing up, one of the best toys that you could buy, again, certain age limit, obviously, was if you got your like 50p pocket money, went into Riders, and it would be a polystyrene plane and one of the parachute men. Yeah. And that's your day sorted. Out to the garden, lobbing the parachute man in the air and watching him floating down, and then playing your glider until the heavy nose bit fell off and it no longer
the little
flies.
Sticky guys that you chucked on a window.
And they sort of flip-flop down.
Yeah, exactly. So, and it's still the same with kids now, and that's really nice because the thing that Casey probably played with one of the most, it cost me £2. I saw it in Tesco literally 2 days before Christmas and thought that'll make a stocking filler. A unicorn popper. It's a plastic unicorn about 10 centimetres big, and it comes with 6 yellow foam balls, and you put them in the unicorn's mouth, you squeeze its stomach, and it fires it out. Yeah. So she absolutely loved shooting people with that. We ordered 2 from Amazon, from eBay, and now we have a popper war. And it's just great. Absolute
I want to get
chaos.
Nerf guns, but I've been vetoed so far, so they might just appear in because I think that will shut the kids up.
They'll be on Evie's Christmas list in no time, mate.
But that's another toy, isn't it? Nerf guns, and come the summer, Super Soakers.
Super Soakers were always good, especially on the backpack, but they always leaked. Doesn't matter how good of an expensive one you got, you always used to get a wet back.
You see, I never had a Super Soaker. I always had the cheap plastic guns that you bought from your newsagent that you had to fill up under a tap and then push the stupid plastic cap bit in.
Oh, do you remember the Assassin game?
To suck up and then just push once.
Oh, the Assassin game was great fun. I loved doing that.
I
knocked on your door, Rob.
Yeah, day one he knocked on my door and shot me instantly.
Yeah, I had to,
Oh,
I had
this
to have a
is fun.
conversation with your mum and dad first and see if Rob was in. I had a conversation which just shot you.
I think you got me out of bed. I think that's what it was.
So,
And then we did a drive-by. Who was in the car and we did... Sorry, this is... Oh, my God.
you got Chris, didn't you, on a drive-by, didn't you? Or did you get
Yeah, I think I was driving and
one
you
of the
guys were
girls?
hanging out the doors. Yeah.
But just so people
Terrible.
know, so Assassin, if you don't know what it is, it's a group of people, foam guns, and you had to try and kill each other, one-shot kills, and it kind of went on over days. And yeah, we had a go at that, and it was quite fun. I think Mark got done pretty quick as well, didn't he? No, he didn't actually, did he? He refused to come out of his room and out of the house at points, full stop,
Yeah.
even when
That's
people
right,
knocked
he
on his
guessed,
door.
didn't he? Oh,
But anyway, so,
sorry.
but they were toys that adults could play with.
Yeah, so I think now we've talked a lot. I think what we need to now to lead on is any age range. What toys from now would you recommend for kids? Not what toys as an adult would you recommend for our adults to buy, because I think we all know what those are going to be, especially from Rob.
Sadness and pandas.
Yeah. So I'm going to start, and I would say, from my experience over the last few years, anything by Leapfrog is pretty good, and that's the same as the ice cream cart from you, Rob. That's a Leapfrog toy.
There's a Leapfrog, is it? Okay.
Yeah, we've got that. We've got a barbecue, which is traditional and very very Australian, because obviously it's a barbecue.
Does it have an accent?
It does have an accent. It's a really
Brilliant.
bad accent as well.
Yeah.
G'day, welcome to the barbecue. Let's get the grill on. Yeah, get me them shrimp and all this. But all the Leapfrog toys just have this level of they're not cheap, but they're not expensive, and I can see them all being quite educational. The kids love playing with them. I think they'll go on for quite a few years as well.
No, definitely Leapfrog stuff lasts. So no, great suggestion.
Rob, what you're talking about a bumblebee that you hate. Is there anything that you found so far that for younger children that they can make noise or shove in their gob?
Yeah, all of it's all right. I mean, they're a bit expensive. I think they're probably more of the brandy, expensive side, but the VTech stuff, the learning ones of those are actually really cool. And some of them are actually, adult can stand them. But we've got this one. I just had to go into Animals Room. It's called it's by Fisher Price, and they're called Linkimals. Have you heard of those?
No, but I'm
not
going to look
seen
them up
those.
now.
So different animals. All of them are different kind of learning toys. We've got the panda because it kind of looks like a cuddly toy, and all you do is you press the button in the middle, and sings different songs, or like does the ABCs and stuff, and has the light color changes. But they all talk to each other. So there's a sloth, which isn't a cuddly toy, but it dances and does the same. We haven't got it. I might get it eventually, but they all talk to each other. And if you have all of them, they'll all talk to each other and all do shooting. There's a koala bear. I've got it here. There's a koala bear, which is counting. What else we got? There's a llama.
So I'm assuming the more of these you get, the more interactive they are with each other.
I think so. I think they're meant to be. Yeah, I think they're meant to be.
Oh yeah, there's a hedgehog.
Yeah, the panda one, he seems to like, out of all of the kind of cuddly toy noisy things we've got, that one always makes him laugh for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, and there is also
the otter looks a
we've got
bit
a zebra
suggestive
one.
to me.
We've got a zebra one which does some pretty funny songs, which I have learnt one of them, and I'm not singing it. Maybe
Not this time.
Yet.
maybe when we get
Bonus
into
content.
like bonus content when we've got 20 people listening, I'll sing the zebra song.
You heard it there. If we get 20 subscribers, Rob will sing a song.
Again.
Well, actually, maybe we shouldn't say that.
No.
If
Start
they
losing
re-listened to the last one and heard my singing, we might not.
Okay, the Linkables, yeah, they look quite cool.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but VTech, I think, is probably the one that people would know about, and yeah, they all seem pretty decent, really. I'm pretty sure it's the same woman does the voice for all of it.
Oh yeah, it's what I think the same woman does the voice for most of the brands, not just that. I think she jumps between
She
them.
just slightly changes the tone of her.
And I think
very
she also
happy
does the
voice.
She's also the voice of half the lifts you get into as well.
Yeah,
Very
God, I
possibly.
wouldn't like that. Yeah, we're going to floor 3.
No, please no.
That's another message tone.
Yeah.
TJ,
Oh,
what would you recommend?
So I'm going to choose something completely different to you two. So you've gone for two branded things or brands, and absolutely, a torch. Full stop, just any old torch. Yeah, you can get kid-friendly torches, and that's what we've got upstairs. It looks like a little lightning bug sort of thing, and you turn it on. It's an old traditional kind of lantern that you hold with your hand and shine around. But you know what? It's been an amazing toy because it gets dark. You've got a kid that might be a little bit scared of the dark. There you go. You've got a torch. She gets out of bed. She goes to the toilet with it. But then you've got loads of games you can play in the dark as well. So we've done like hide and seek in the dark, where she shines it around trying to find you. Under the covers and reading and playing with toys, or in kind of little dens that they've made. So no, and they can be cheap as well. And I tell you what, not having a boy, obviously, Rob, with Theo, I can guarantee you he'll get to a certain age, walkie-talkies and a torch will do you well.
Yeah.
Just thinking about the toys that kind of I had. But yeah, no, a torch for me, because it's got so many applications other than just a toy.
I'll add one more, actually. A wooden spoon. He goes nuts for the wooden spoons. As soon as he's cleaning any of the cutlery up, and he's like grabbing for the wooden spoon. Miranda went and brought wooden spoons for him to just have in his toy box.
So you're basically getting your child used to mediocrity and coming last in everything. Here's the wooden spoon.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we all do nowadays, isn't it? Everyone gets a prize.
Oh, no.
Everyone gets a medal normally.
Dan.
You're saying you're getting the wooden spoon.
No, we're wrong, Dan. It's wrong.
You deserve, boy.
He's taking a leaf out of the Book of Ryan. It's going to be Cook with Theo, isn't it? Give him another year. He's going to have his own YouTube channel. Mate,
you want to do some producing for me? Yeah, let's talk business after this.
I mean, let's not. If you could make that much money off your kids, you would, wouldn't you?
Hell yeah. Of course you bloody would. My little girl just wants to be purely on YouTube. We're playing Minecraft at the moment. Everything she watches is this bitch called Karina, and I know she's a child and I shouldn't call her that, but I hate her so much. I hate her.
Does she play YouTube? She plays Minecraft, does she?
Karina. Really? Oh, she does Roblox or Roblox, whatever it's called, and then Minecraft. And she's
Roblox.
Roblox. It's like, Roblox, nice. It's just, I hate her. I know I shouldn't. She's only a kid, but she's so fucking annoying. In every goddamn way, she's just annoying.
Oh dear.
We kind of put a ban on her watching her because she started trying to put on an American accent and copying it, and it's like, no, stop.
Legos.
Oh, and no, I'll add one more suggestion. Lego, and Lego is not gender based. My little girl loves playing with Lego. The bloody problem with Lego is expensive.
Yes,
it was expensive when we were small, and it's even more so now.
Especially when you want the £650 Millennium Falcon Collector's Edition.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, you wouldn't let your kids play with that. But yeah, okay. Do you want to round it off?
I will round it off, absolutely. If you are not following us, you can follow us on Twitter with... Oh, blimey. Why can I not remember it? That's terrible. I can't remember.
This is why I asked you to do it, because you always remember.
Yeah, I know, and suddenly my brain's gone absolutely blank. Okay, well, you can follow us on Twitter with @3dads1pod. You can also email us at 3dads1podcast@outlook.com. You can head to our webpage, 3dads1podcast.co.uk. You can find us on anchor.fm, where you can just type our name in and then leave us a voicemail, and we will play that in an episode if you do. We also have a TikTok channel, which I believe is 3dads1podcast, Rob? Because you set that one up. And we will have a Facebook page at some point when we get round to it. But that is all our social pipes. Come and find us.
Yeah, leave us a message.
Yeah, leave us a message.
The one person who I actually know now who listens to this. You know who you are, because Dan's told me you listen to this. Leave a message, a nice one, and we will play it.
Absolutely. And ask us any questions as well. At some point, we will do a question episode where all the questions we receive eventually, we will answer them in some way or another. We've got a few episodes planned as well when COVID's gone, where we can meet up. I'm thinking we go to a toy shop would be quite a good one.
And then I think also go to a pub.
Oh, a pub. I'd also get all the toys out of our lofts. Get all my Tomy Train and my Playmobil down. That'd be quite a good one to go through. But I'll hand back over to you, Dan, to say goodbye.
Thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks with the next episode.
Lovely stuff.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Love you. Bye.
Did you have to end it with "I love you," Rob?